Hey, what is up, YouTube? Midnight Legend here, showcasing my ultimate Minecraft build. And today on this showcase, I will be showing you my Ancient Titan of Wisdom build. And as you can see, it is a pretty tall build, and it's actually the first build I've actually built that is this big and this detailed. So I kind of impressed myself while building it, actually, but it did quite turn out really good. And for proof that this is actually my plot, it's a 32 by 32, by the way. Here is my ID tag with my gamer tag in it, even though it's missing a 3 after DL, but whatever, that doesn't really matter. And to the build, well, the main concept of this build was to build a giant creature completely embraced in nature and life. And in this server, in Sprintia, well, I had to. Your plot has to have three important things, and which are terraforming, organics, and structure. And as you can see, for the terraforming, we got some underground structures such as the stone, all that kind of stone in here. There's normal stone, there's cobblestone, there's mossy cobblestone, there's stone brick, there is mossy stone brick. There are vines everywhere. There's dirt making up the body as well. All types of ores lie around its center of the body, and there are trees growing on its thighs as well as on the creature's shoulders and back. I was quite impressed by myself. I'm not really sure if this is completely. I think in my behalf, this is original. The whole melon thing dangling on the tree leaves. I have not seen that before because that just came to me when I looked at the trees, and because I was looking at them and they looked kind of empty, so I decided to add those melons to see how they look, and they did look rather well. And as you can see, as I call it, the Ancient Titan of Wisdom. Well, the wisdom part actually comes from its age and how it's wielding a cane, a giant cane. It just makes him look wiser and as well as older. And of course, he's also covered in vines and dirt everywhere. He's like a mobile home for medieval times. As you can see, he has a house on his back, and since he can move and walk anywhere he wants, well, technically the house goes along with him, and that kind of makes it a medieval mobile home. And as you can see, this house is supposed to be the house of an old sage, and the old sage just happens to live here, and he can sit on this little seat here, and he can just ride the creature wherever he wants. Really. And in my opinion, this is a really good looking build. I asked for a review in this build so that way I can rank up to member. To those of you who know of this server and have been here before, you are probably familiar with what I'm talking about now. But for those of you who don't, well, the server is a creative server and it's based on ranks. So you have to build something really, really good and detailed on a 32 by 32 plot, as you can see here. And if it's decent enough for the judges, who are mods here, well, they promote you. But you have to ask for a review first. Luckily for me, which actually was quite satisfying, I did ask for a review. You're supposed to ask for a review. There's a command for that. And instead of just getting a review, I actually just got promoted. And the build wasn't even done yet. I was still not done with the left arm and the cane, and I just got promoted just like that. He's performing a step here. That's why there's missing grass there because his foot was right there. As you can see, he has all sorts of life going on him. There's fungi, there's vines, there's mold. Of course, there is vegetation such as grass, organic such as trees. There are all sorts of ores on his body as well. Plenty of mushrooms. Lots of stuff here to see. There's even stone brick. I mean, sorry, cobblestone wall and mossy cobble wall. I've added all sorts of blocks here because block variation does quite matter in these builds in the server. And as you can see, he has these weird giant cables just clinging to his mouth like horses have, and that's how the old sage actually manages to make him walk wherever the sage wants him to go. And as you can see, to make him look more troll-like, he originally had claws, but now I just changed it to toes instead with really long toenails. Of course, they have to be filthy. It's an ancient creature. and it's not like he has a giant shower or anything. And I did decide to actually have these little lamps just dangling from his chest. I just thought that would look good. An excellent feature also would be his jewel. He's actually jeweling, and that is quite a good feature. It makes him look more alive. And I did use beacons for the eyes as well. There are wooden buttons for the nose or nostrils, and as you can see, there's a pathway down his back to the back of to the back of his neck, all the way to his head, and which leads to the old sage's house. And as you can see, I built this on November 22, 2013. And I did have to include interior decorating, of course. Structure has to include interior decorating, and since this is a really compact space here, it's a tightened space. Well, I did have to include a minimal amount of decorations down here. As you can see, this is just a dinner table and two little counters. And on the top floor, we got a bedroom with a bed, jukebox, some chests, and some desks. Of course, these are paintings, but they're supposed to look like flags. They look quite excellent, actually, and I did make them match with the carpet on the floor. And of course, lamps all the way. And this is the attic. This is pretty much my favorite part from the house because it's just so magical and ancient and old, and that's what makes it look really good, more more medieval like as well. As you can see, there are bookshelves, furnaces, a skull on a desk, enchanting table, ender chest right here. As you can see, more chests up there on the walls. There are cobwebs, all sorts of cobblestone walls. They're meant to look like pipes. I think iron bars would have done the work better, but whatever, that doesn't really matter anymore. And of course a giant window, and here's a balcony on the back. You can see everything back here, well, at least what's been built so far. And yeah, the roof, I did add a lot of vines, all sorts of mossy cobble and cobblestone slabs, as you can see, and all sorts of, and leaves just dangling from the entire roof with the melons, of course. That's what really makes this really detailed. There are flower pots on the before the windows here. All this stuff really did quite satisfy the judges. Mushrooms, again more mushrooms, some pumpkins. The pumpkins and the mushrooms were necessary, and they did quite bring a good effect on this build because they're the only red that's in the build. The only orange and red. The rest is pretty much green and brown and gray. So it did quite pay off actually, and it looks quite fine. And some torches just lying on poles here all over the place. The arm bending down, grabbing the giant cane wrapped around some kind of cloth with some dangling lamps. So yeah, it is quite a good build, guys. I hope you guys really liked it. I mean, this took about 3 nights to build, a few hours. I did quite finish late one Friday on this build. I finished it really late, but it was so worth it because the build looks excellent, and I really impressed myself with the amount of effort I put here and the amount of detail. At first, I was quite negative about it, but then I became more hopeful after I finished the right leg, and I just kept going until I finished it. Right now I'm working on my big plot, which is on a 300 by 300 plot. I'm starting off on a 75 by 75, and once I'm done with that, I will show it to you guys as well. So yeah, so far I really hope you like this build. I am in love with it, and there's nothing that can make this build any better except the fact that there could be terraforming on the plot down here, but that doesn't really matter because the main ideal here, the main focus is the giant titan. So yeah, thanks to you so much for watching, guys. I really like this build. I hope you like it as well. If you do, please make sure you leave a like or a comment, and please subscribe, as it does really help me out. It does really quite encourage me to go on with my builds. Usually I've been kind of low on subscribers and activity from other people to my videos, but in due time I will do better, of course. And it's all thanks to you guys. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. Uh, I will showcase more builds around the plot, or I mean around the server, sorry, and hopefully you guys will enjoy them just as much. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Bye.